Chapter 9.99999, The Return by Sky. With a wild and haughty look, the Red Queen swept off with Blizzard. Six sat high on the wizard's neck, her arms held up in a victory sign. I couldn't believe how confident she was. I made a mental note that as a child I knew how to be bold. Jemima, Moat and I followed behind the Red Queen, riding on Puff's back, feeling relieved to be on our way back to Marescimar. Travelling with us was the Red Queen's army. The black dragons each wore a red sash and carried a gleaming sword on their black belts. The swords were edged with gold, ready to be used in an instant. As we flew through the Noesis, I rejoiced that the thieves had been captured. Never again would I have to see Isla's diseased heart. Never again would I have to see her husband in his fake religious hat and gown. I felt as if a wild happiness was erupting all around me. I'd found Jem and Moat. Six was safe. I was safe. What more could I hope for? Before long, we were well on our way back to where we'd left the others. As we were nearing the shimmering lake, we could see our friends surfing up and down cloud dunes of sheer Noesis and every so often crash landing into the lake. "Minnow!" I shouted. Everyone stared at us, not sure if the dragons were friends or foes, but when they saw that we were all smiling, they cheered. Minnow surfed over, hovering quite close to Puff. "Let me land at least," said Puff. Minnow surfed next to us, and once we were on the shimmering lake, Puff let Jemima and I clamber down his back. Minnow hugged me so hard that I nearly burst. Six took Jemima and Moat over to Ben and Frank, who couldn't stop cuddling Moat. Jax, Escher and Solo went up to Puff to thank him for all his kindness. I'm pleased to report that Puff didn't blast any of them with flames. The Queen and Blizzard tried to outdo one another by producing an enormous magical feast for all of us to enjoy in the midst of the Noesis. We lounged about on the shores of the shimmering lake, eating and drinking for a long time. There were so many questions to answer and so many stories to tell. Finally, the Queen of the Dragons waved her tail across in front of Blizzard, and dozens of ornate glasses appeared, full of sparkling lime and lemonade. Blizzard took one and stood on his surfboard. "Here's to the end of the thieves," he shouted, raising his glass. "And the ridiculous Dezgul," said the Red Queen, blasting flames high into the air. This prompted her army and Puff to do the same. An enormous halo of fire and smoke circled its way up higher and higher into the Noesis. Eventually, this caused a downpour. "Excellent," said the Queen. "This sort of Noesis rain is full of ancient knowledge. Open your minds wide and you'll discover the best secrets." As the downpour ended, I drew Six aside and whispered, "Don't tell Puff's mother about his treasure." "Of course not. She'd take it." I smiled, surfing over to Puff. "Six won't tell anyone about your treasure." "Good," said Puff, "although I still regret taking you there." "It will remain forever our secret," I said, staring into Puff's lovely green eyes. "Thank you for helping us." Flames bristled at the edge of Puff's nostrils, but he pulled them back, remembering his manners. "I think you're welcome is the usual phrase," he said. "It is," I said with a smile. There was an awkward silence. "Thank you for the song," said Puff. "The song? The one you sang when we met. I can still hear it in my mind, and I find it strangely comforting. I did have a friend once, a long time ago. He sang to me and brought me gifts. I thought he was going to teach me how to play guitar, but we lost touch. I liked him very much. He was one of my godmother's friends. I hope you meet him again one day. Please do come and visit us at Marescimar. I'll sing to you again. Puff nodded. Blizzard called for us to assemble and formally thank the dragons. We all stood beside Blizzard and shouted, "Thank you!" The dragons all bowed before heading off. "Will we ever see them again?" asked Frank. "They want to rid the universe of evil as much as we do," said Blizzard. "I doubt that the Queen will stop trying to get Puff enrolled at Marescimar. Today we made a great alliance, and it's all thanks to you, Sky, and your very brave selves." I smiled, feeling like I was floating on a sea of happiness, but I also felt utterly exhausted. "Now," said Blizzard, "I think those hot air balloons might be just the thing for our return trip. I doubt that Jem feels like learning how to surf the Noesis." "Yes," I said. "Excellent idea." As I spoke, 2 balloons appeared. "Hop in," said Blizzard. "Let's take the lazy way home."